welcome to another episode of The Sovereign Soul. You know who I am, but I am so excited to introduce you to this fabulous being, Loretta Green. And I have been friends for a while now. It feels like we've been soul sisters for forever. And I could not be more excited about the topic that we're going to be bringing to you today. As you know, we're focusing on modalities this May and all of the different ways that you can connect to energy, all the different ways that you can bring in the healing vibrations that you need, and all of the different ways that you can bring in the universe's messages that they have for you. And Dreamwork is the topic for today. I'm first going to let you introduce yourself before I get too far into it, because I'm sure you can tell, I'm sure everybody can hear me. I'm so excited. I could talk about stuff like this all day long. It's fascinating to me. And I know you do it in your way, totally different from what's normal. So I'm going to have you introduce yourself and then talk to me about how you started doing work with dreams. Talk to me.
Oh, hello. I am Loretta Green. I am an intuitive, a psychic, an oracle card reader, Reiki master, all of the above, and I specialize in dream work. So yeah, I've took a course in dream work because for so long I saw my dreams, but I never really connected with them. So I thought, you know what, this is something I need to do. I need to get into this. Because I remember even from the age of 11, I remember my first psychic dream, and I still remember it to this day. But like I said, I never really followed it. I never paid attention to my dreams, and I always kind of resisted. So that's like the key word I found. And I knew, I'm like, okay, I'm resisting something here. I really need to focus on this. So I took my course. I am a certified intuitive dream coach, and I help walk you through your dream so that you can come out of it knowing what your dream is talking to you, because we all have dreams. It's our subconscious speaking to us. Sometimes it's our spirit guides or our angels that are coming through that have messages for us, or even our body. I've seen clients that can sometimes get like a medical diagnosis within themselves, but yeah, it's obviously, I'm not a medical doctor, so I don't do that, but sometimes people come through and they get something and then they'll go see a medical professional.
Yes. Dream work has been something that I've been tuned into for myself. I don't do it really for clients, although if a client comes to me and they're like, hey, I had this crazy dream last night, can we talk about what this means? I will go into the meaning of it. Right. I know you do it much more intensely and so much more deeply, but it fascinates me, dream work, because I know when I teach people on the conscious and the subconscious mind, we talk about how when you sleep, you are so not resistant. You are less resistant because your conscious mind sleeps while you sleep. The subconscious, on the other hand, which is connected to the universe always, it's not sleeping. It's still very active. It's processing. It's feeding back and communicating with you. And it gives you an opportunity to really see what you're holding on to, what's not being healed, what's below the surface, keeping you from achieving goals, being seen, feeling like you're living a fulfilling life, manifesting the things you want in your world. I'm so excited to dive into this topic with you, because I know it's going to help so many people become cued into that. I love where my guides are coming in to talk about what we're going to talk about on this side. It's like, oh, wow, this is so cool, because I have a lot of different, I call it like a cheat sheet of sorts when it comes to my dreams and what I've been able to master for myself. Often I have deceased and departed loved ones that come, and I know many people can connect to this. We have deceased and departed loved ones on the other side that visit us in our dreams. They visit us all the time. Yeah. Me anyways. I'm sure for you, you're very connected to the spiritual realm, and deceased and departed loved ones are no different than the spiritual, beings that we can communicate guide wise. But most people don't recognize how connected they are to their loved ones on the other side. And it's not until they have a dream about them that actually becomes more of a reality, more of a I don't know, I want to say a tangible way of knowing that they're there, especially with the messages they share. But talk to me about how you work with clients. What are some of the predominant things people come and see you for?
Well, they come for anything, like, and it can be even the most smallest, minute thing that you remember, because that was why I resisted so long, because I never remembered my dreams. And I work with clients to help give them techniques and situation or little nuances to help remember their dreams. And these techniques over time and with practice really do help, because it's, like sometimes you have a thought and it's gone. And when you wake up, that dream, you see it fading, right? So you're trying to catch it. And even the slightest bit of information you can extrapolate from that dream, we can get so much information that your psyche is trying to tell you.
So much.
And it's amazing. And so what I do is I help through creative processes. I help through asking questions, and like a lot of it is intuitive, but I don't give those interpretations, because there's a lot of great dream work out there that do have interpretations and books and whatnot, but sometimes you might not connect with an interpretation. So for example, dog. People think they're loyal, they're great, but if you personally were attacked by a dog, would you see that loyalty come out the same way, right? So that's why I help with the client and help their own interpretations and what that means to them. And then we do things like meditation and sometimes creative outlets like drawing, dancing, singing, writing a poem, anything that gets that creative juice flowing, because I think that's really the crux of what life should be, is creative play. And we lose that so often as adults. So this is what I help others do, and they seem to really
love
enjoy
that. I'm sure they're not just enjoying it, they're very successful at not just reestablishing their connection to their dreams, but even being able to use it in such a powerful, healing way and intuitive way to gain insight and information. When I have a client that is super cued in with their dreams, but they can't remember it, I am always put that book by your bed, put the book by your bed, and make sure you have, a pen or something to write with, because as soon as you wake up, you want to dive into that book. Yeah. I remember starting the intuitive stuff and having people come. My husband's stepfather, who passed away, would smoke, the cigars. I resonate cigar with him. And whenever he would come in, it would smell like cigar, and I would roll over and write that down. And I would remember that visit when I woke up, so that I could just say, hey, so-and-so's around you right now, loving on you, that kind of a thing.
Exactly.
But the dreams are huge in not just being able to remember what was seen in your dream, but more than ever, what's felt because of it.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. That is so true. It is all about the feeling, what you feel when you see a certain color, what you feel when you see, a certain object. It is all about how you feel inside and and even a person, because I've had dreams where I'm myself and I know it's my husband, but it's somebody else as my husband. So we take those two people and look, okay, what are the aspects of this person that I like or don't like? What are the aspects of this person that I like and don't like? And then we put them as parts of ourselves too. So what is it within me that I don't resonate with this person because I'm looking back at a mirror, right?
Yes.
So there's so many ways we can look at this and go into it. And like I said, I've found that it's been so healing, and my dreams are starting to really become more vivid and pronounced. And because I always considered myself not a visual person, not a creative person. But I remember now, and through the process of my Dreamwork certification, that I was such a daydreamer. I'd sit in class and I would just daydream. And then through my spiritual journey, I got into actual journeying and following that. And because the imagination doesn't lie, it's so and you can just follow it. And it's so it's waking dreams when you're journeying. But then, like I said, I'd have trouble remembering my actual sleeping dreams. But there's some great tips and techniques out there. And like you said, having a journal beside your bed, key. And kind of the one thing that we teach for our clients is that don't move. So when you wake up, kind of sit there, focus on your dream for a minute, try and remember as much as you can, and then start writing, because you're in that still like dream state, and you don't want to disturb it, because as soon as you start getting up, going about your day, checking your phone, whatever, the dream's gone. And you'll think, oh, I'll remember it. Because there's been many times I'm like, oh, that was such a vivid dream, I'm going to remember every detail. By the afternoon, it's gone. I'm like, what was I even dreaming about?
Yeah, it's so funny you say that. I will actually control myself in my sleep state.
That's amazing. I cannot do that yet. I have not been able to do that.
I had a dream. I actually forgot to tell my mom about this, but I had it, and I remembered telling myself throughout my dream, I need to remember this to tell mom. I need to remember this to tell mom. I need to remember this to tell mom. But my grandfather came to me, and he was at a school setting selling Christmas, like Christmas, what do you call them?
Ornament?
Yeah, not so like Christmas things. It was a plastic bowl, right?
Okay.
And you'd fill it with pictures, and then you'd put another plastic piece on top. It would create the seal, and it would create the bowl. So it was a Christmas, like something with an N. I can't think of the name. I can't think of the word, but the little knickknacks and what have you. But so he kept making this bowl, and there was a big one or a small one. It had filled with all the pictures. You would fill it in with all the pictures and create your bowl. And I remember going, okay, I'll be right back. I want 2 of those. And the lady said, well, honey, you got to pay for them. And I said, I forgot my checkbook. And he knows. And I pointed at my grandfather. He knows I'll be right back. He knows I don't lie. And I remember coming out of it going, oh my gosh, like he was laughing in this dream, laughing at me, laughing at the fact that I forgot my checkbook. But I remember the bowl and the pictures very, very clearly. And I remember saying to myself, as I was still kind of done with the dream, but still like sleeping, I have to remember to tell mom, this is gonna be so good. I even remember thinking, maybe I'm supposed to create this novelty. That's the word. This novelty, this Christmas thing. You know what I mean? So people can have this bowl, fill it with pictures, and you're serving mashed potatoes in a plastic bowl with pictures all over it. Like, how freaking awesome is that? It doesn't get any more better than that. And so I'm sitting here and I'm like, I gotta remember this. But I can control it. I've gotten to a space. My guides have been very clear. I wouldn't know. Yes, it's dream work, but I wouldn't label it as such. I would say, for me, I work with clients that really want to connect with their guides.
Yes.
And for me, I know at night is the best time to receive that information. Yes. What do I need to be focused on? Or this is what I want to manifest.
Yeah.
Like, here you go, universe. I'm surrendering this to you. Best time to do that is at night. Excuse me. And I would have them, write it all out, stick it under your pillow, or in the dream state, stop for the messages that I know I'm supposed to be getting. So I think it's just an endless realm in and of itself of possibility, endless realm of possibility.
Absolutely. Well, and like you say, because at night we are available, our conscious ego mind isn't controlling us, so we can get the downloads, and we heal and we regenerate during sleep. Mm-hmm. So it's such a process that is so profound for the human body. And then our mind's continually active and waking. And dreams have been studied for eons. Like the Greeks were studying it back even in not prehistoric days, but like back before biblical times, right? Mm-hmm. So it's and this is where we get a good chunk of our information now because of the research that the Greek mythology came from, as well as their studies. And that's where a lot of this dream work comes from now. And there's some great masters that have studied dreams, and nobody still has a consensus of what we're doing in our sleep, other than we know that we're dreaming and that we see vigils. And there's even some people that can't see vigils. There is a percentage of the population in the world that don't have that visual access, but they're still getting information. So it's just what we do with that information.
And that's it there. That's exactly true. It's exactly that. What do you do with this information that comes forward for you? I remember before my husband and I got divorced. We were married, then we were divorced, then we came back together again and got married again because we're crazy people. But I remember as we were going through that process, having a dream. One would consider it a nightmare, but for me, I don't believe there's such a thing as a nightmare. I believe that we are gifted opportunities of awareness to shift and change the trajectory of where we are. And I remember having this dream. I remember walking through a parking lot. I had my son Mason with me in my hand, and the cars were lined up to the left. He was on my left, and this car backed out and hit him. And I remember stopping everything. Literally in my mind, I stopped everything. And I asked questions. Is this a premonition? I heard no. Is this about my Mason? I heard no. Does this have to do with me? I heard yes. All I needed to know, because I know where to take it from there. We just kept going with the dream, and all the things that were kind of taking place. And it really ended right after that. And I really feel like with Dreamwork and with what you do specifically with people, you can show them how to take that control. You can show them how,
absolutely,
simply by just telling them, hey, you do know you have control of your dream. I tell my children this all the time. I had a bad dream. Okay, no, let's talk about this. Like, you can stop it. You can change it. Don't go down that staircase. Go up the staircase. You know what I mean? Like, you can change absolutely anything if control over it all. And that's powerful. Just because you're sleeping doesn't mean that you don't have say in what's going on and that you can't reshift it or recreate it, And as I got up, the first thing I did was grab my notebook, because as a mom, that's in your bones after you witness something like that. You're like freaked out. And I still was freaked out. Just because I knew it was about me and not Mason, it didn't leave me because it wasn't supposed to. And I grabbed my notebook and started writing all about it. This is what happened. It made me feel like this. It creates an energy this morning that looks like anxiety. But as I dove into it more, it was clear. I didn't feel like I was in charge. Now, vehicles represent the physical, like the physical journey, if you want to call it that, like the vessel, which is you in a body having an experience. Well, if you've got a vehicle in any kind and you're in it and someone's driving and they're like erratic, you don't feel like you have control. Here's this person who backed out. I had no control. So there's a resonance there in that space at that time of not having control over what was going on. Not sure where we were going to move, if we were going to go back home, how the marriage was going to end, what was going to come of it all. There was a lot of things that were up in the air at that time. And I felt like I had no control. And my kids, most parents are, your kids are your trigger. Do you want my guides? No, my guides, no. You want to get Jackie's attention? Put one of those kids in there and she's right there for you. She'll listen to anything you have to say. Here's my child. And immediately I'm like, whoa, does this have anything to do with him? It doesn't mean that even though I heard no, I didn't follow him around the parking lot or hold on a little extra tight or put the fear of God in my husband at the time and go, make sure you hold his hand. I had this dream, but it really is an opportunity, the universe's way of saying, hey, Jack, you're holding on to a lot of fear. You're holding on to a lot of anxiety. You're not feeling like you're in control, which is all bullshit because you are in control all the time. You're in charge.
Yes.
Look at this. Move this energy out. Sometimes the dream itself, and this is where I want to go with you. Sometimes the dream itself is a healing opportunity to shift energy. Talk to me about what you feel about that.
Oh my gosh, I got goosebumps all over when you said that. So it's so true. It is. It's so true because when you're not looking at something, whether it's a pain or a situation, and you're ignoring it, but your subconscious is saying, hello, we're here. You have to deal with this situation. It will come. And similar to that dream that you had, I had one of a tsunami, and mine was more of a, I had a sleeping dream with it, but also a lot of waking dreams. I lived in British Columbia for a year and we were right on the water. So I kept having an actual vision of a tsunami coming. And I kept seeing it. And then I had this really freaky dream about it. So I talked it out and I said, this is what I'm seeing. And when I talked it out, I was able to realize that I'm being overwhelmed. I feel like I'm having all this information coming at me and I can't make a decision. And once I talked it out, I was able to like, oh, the dream stopped. And I haven't seen something like that since. So it's the same thing. Talking it out is the healing, because you're moving that energy, you're bringing it to the surface, you're giving it attention, and it can heal. Because one of my therapists said to me, and I love this line, if you feel, you heal. If you resist, it persists.
100%.
Yeah. So this is where we come in, because there's many types of different dreams. Like you can have a premonition dream. Absolutely. That can come forward. Like that's how me paying attention to my dreams when I was in my preteens, they were premonitions, very little things, like somebody would say something and it would come true, but it got me paying attention. So these little things can start coming, and then you start paying attention more and more and more. And if you have a reoccurring dream, what are you avoiding in your life? What do you need to go deep to figure it out? And I know you're going to, go ahead.
Let me ask you this while you say that, while I've still got you in that energy strand. What's the difference between a reoccurring dream that you have to look into and the universe using the same symbol? So when you get overwhelmed, you're going to have the tsunami thing coming up over and over and over and over and over again. And you're going to go, I know exactly what this is and I'm going to work on it. You know what I mean? Like it's not a reoccurring thing. I mean, it isn't. It is their way, your guides, the universe, source, your higher self. It's way of saying, hey girl, you are overwhelmed. And here comes the tsunami of nonsense that's coming your way. How can you work something with someone to tell or know, or how can they come to the understanding of what's the difference between this is a reoccurring thing for me and this is just my sign that I'm needing rest or self-care?
Well, I think they're both kind of in the same thing, because either way, a reoccurring dream, what I would go through is ask, when did this reoccurring dream start? How old were you? What was happening in your life then? So start looking at those aspects and seeing, okay, do we need to dive deeper into something more in the psyche? And then, if more work needs to come about, then we would move on. I would suggest actual therapy, because, the two go hand in hand. And sometimes dream work is just beyond something, or it's not something I can really help with, because there is other mental health issues that need to be addressed. But I think even the fact that you'd be paying attention to whether it's a reoccurring dream or just a universal sign, that's the key, is that you're paying attention and you're listening and you're following. Because when you are aware, you're not asleep, you're awake, you're listening, and then you can focus, okay, and say, what is this reoccurring dream about? Is it a universal sign? Do I need to look into this more? Or is it just something that my dream and psyche is telling me that I need to deal with something?
Absolutely. And you always can tell as well is based off how you feel. If you're having a reoccurring dream, right? And you're not feeling, you're just like, oh, I had that stupid dream again. You know what I mean? And it's not leaving you in shambles. We're going to want to look at how we can maybe take that charge in that dream and ride the wave rather than have it create some like tsunami type of thing. Or, you know what, I have this dream and it still gives me this, paralyzing anxiety or fear that something terrible is going to come. Like that's when you do exactly what you're saying. You're talking it out. You're asking for support. You're getting very clear, on what needs to be addressed. And you're right. There is never going to be a substitute for mental health. You know what I mean? Consultations and consultants and counseling and therapy and all the things. But, there are times when the energetic work, and I know you are expanding your business exponentially so that you can really dive deeper into the energistics of it all when it comes to people, having inner child work that they need to do and energetically shift, change, and move out, chakra work that they have to expand upon, and even these reoccurring dreams that didn't have anything to do with this life. They had everything to do with past life, right? There's so
like that's another
much.
Level.
Such another level. And I knew we'd be like, we had to limit ourselves to an hour, friends, because we can talk about this stuff all the time. But dream work in and of itself is such a healing modality. And I think that it's on the rise, especially with the way that we are in the physical world becoming so much more visual. You've got VR games, you've got video games, you've got computer stuff, you've got TV stuff, like all of these throwing pictures at you all day long. Yeah, it can be overwhelming in the brain, but it also really does work to the benefit of helping become more visually
Exactly.
stimulated. We want to know when too much is too much
Yep.
and when to close the crown chakra, right? Like here's
Mhm.
another area of dream work because holy
Yes.
cow, I can't stop myself. I had so many dreams. When
Mhm.
you're sleeping and you're not resisting, your guides will sit there and chat with you all night long.
Yep.
As a psychic, as a medium, I have to turn that stuff down. We have to go, okay, folks, body needs to sleep. I'm human right now. I can't just go round chasing, or shifting and changing and all the things. Like we have to sleep, we have to rest.
Yeah.
And closing the crown chakra is one of the biggest benefits that you could possibly support yourself with before you go to sleep. It's one thing to say, I have an
Absolutely.
intention, I want to see it
Mhm.
through, present me with a dream, bless me with an opportunity to see it come to fruition. But I also set the intention to get that rest because my body needs it and close my
Yes.
crown chakra, So
Yes.
I think it's super exciting. I think the more that we understand the mind being totally separate from the brain, I think we're going to be opening ourselves up so much more to what it has the opportunity to share with us and teach us and show us. And like you said, dream work has been for eons and
Yep.
eons and eons, a thing. And I think there's definitely a need for more attention, as
I
it's
do too.
getting, but as we still need to give it.
Exactly.
All right.
I agree.
Talk to me about how people are going to have access to you. I mean, they're going to
Yep.
just need to check the show notes. They're going to get links and websites and all the things that you offer, all the things you have in place right now. But talk to me about where you are in your practice right now, because I do know it's been a whirlwind. Your guides
Mhm.
talk to me about like how quickly you were thrusted into this because you've been in this cocoon of learning and applying and
Oh yeah.
healing and shifting and changing and even physical things that have been changing, whether that, I don't know,
Mhm.
whether you've been moving a lot or, those things, but
Yeah.
they show me all of what you've been doing. And then it seems like somebody just plopped you on a pedestal of sorts, like business, like boom, here you go. Now you're going to make a business. And you're like, okay, I'm not quite
Yeah.
sure where
If
we're
I
going to
have
start with all,
to.
if I have to, I know, but talk to me about your journey. Talk to me about your journey. Talk to me about where you are right now, and how you're currently supporting people.
Sure. Well, it's been, like you say, you got it on the nose. It's been a whirlwind, at least 20 plus years of doing
Yeah.
this and learning as much as possible because I've always enjoyed learning and, based on my astrology, it makes sense. But now, yeah, it's no longer, I can keep small. I'm putting myself out there and helping and showing people how this can be done. So right now I'm working with clients with Dreamwork and whatnot. I also do oracle card readings, but I've thought that I would focus my business right now, at least with Dreamwork, and kind of let's see where it goes organically and holistically, because I don't want to put pressure on myself to make something grow and feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not being successful or whatnot.
Sure.
I want to do this authentically, being me, and helping those that connect energetically with me and that I know I can help.
Support.
And
Absolutely.
support,
Absolutely.
exactly.
And, I didn't ask you the question yet, but you pretty much answered it already. Is that then, can one assume that's a pretty good definition for you of what sovereignty is? Your ability to really just authentically go
Yeah.
in and give
Oh, I
yourself
got
that
chills with that.
permission.
Yeah, that gave
Mm.
me chills. Yeah, because for many, many years, I sat and watched and thought, oh, I'd like to be like that person, or I want to be like this person. And then I thought, no, I'm me. And
Yeah.
I'm in a relationship right now where I can actually be myself. And I've said to my husband, like, I've never been this me before.
Right. Right.
All weird and all crazy. And, like we sit and do moon rituals together. Like I even got him to do a sigil with me. So it's crazy. I know, right? Like it's
My gosh.
so he's like, and we're working together and he lets me do this. I was able to quit my corporate bank job after 13 years so I could start my business and really figure
Right.
out who I am. So
Right.
it definitely helps having a supportive partner.
Absolutely.
But I've learned who I am and I'm not going back to who I was before, or like they're all parts of me, but I've learned to kind of integrate them all and now really showcase that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that. And, working with women in business, it's definitely been one of the most, for me, it's interesting, not in the sense of like curiosity, not interesting, like, oh, that's interesting, but like the curiosity of watching someone in their feminine energy create and, produce something, literally birth it into reality that looks different on each being. Like that's most business coaches, they coach based off of, strategy. They do it off of like the tried and true things that work. You got to post this, you've got to show up here, you've got to do this. That was never my approach. It never worked for me in business. So why would I inauthentically attempt to teach that, But for you, I think the beautiful thing that you've have the ability to share with other people wanting to really immerse themselves, not just in the spiritual work, but also becoming their own entrepreneur in their own, modality of healing to give it to the world. We do that best by aligning ourselves with what looks like business here, being able to exchange in a way where we're compensated for the gifts, we are rewarded for what we are able to bring out, and we get the return on an investment, right? Because we've invested for years and years and years, you say 20 plus years, blood, sweat, tears, time, energy, and money. And now it's time to bring it all back, right? But when you do it in an authentic way, you have exponential abundance in that reserve at all times. But when you try to do it according to somebody else's path or their strategy or what worked for them, here in the spiritual realm, that doesn't work. It isn't a CPA business. You know what I mean? Where it's based off numbers. Spirit work and spirit entrepreneurs, they recognize that it's their spirit that's driving them. And if you're not tuned and tapped and turned on to that, you're going to struggle. And I think one of the beautiful things of your journey that I know you're starting to tap into, that I, as your friend, cannot freaking wait to experience alongside you, is just how much is flooding your way. Yeah. Because you're choosing to do this way, because you're choosing to heal as you go along, shift as you go along, show up and support as you go along, and to do it your way. It is such a blessing. It's such a blessing. And I'm excited to see you, continue on that path. I think everything you're doing right now is very much linkable and relatable and goes hand in hand. Dreamwork, Joe, it's going to be your expertise, my friend, and specialty, just because you can really connect to it in ways that most can't. And what you've got to show people about how powerful it is, it's just going to be exciting. It's going to be so exciting to watch. So that's amazing. I'm excited. You are all going to have to go and connect with Miss Loretta. I'm sure there's ways that they can get in your inbox, in your schedule, so that they can have a reading with you for dream interpretation, and even working with you one-on-one. You are offering that one-on-one stuff. So good. Okay, good. I'm like, am I jumping ahead here? Am I telling her what she doesn't know yet? But I'm so excited. That's amazing. I'm so excited. Thank you all. That brings us to an end of another amazing episode. I am so loving this. Month of May is all about modalities, and Dreamwork is going to be one of your favorite ways to connect to what it is that you need to listen to, what it is that you need to heal, and what it is you can use to blast through anything that's preventing your amazing, powerful, wonderful spirit from showing up. So get with my girl, Loretta. You're not going to be sorry. And I will see you again next week for another powerful episode. Bye, friend.